we get inundated with resources that are made available to us, but Space A did not have a solution. And so we found ourselves spending a lot of time on Facebook and browsing Air Mobility Command AMC's listings per terminal. And that was just kind of consuming a lot of time. It felt like, dreaming of vacation on Kayak or some of these other vacation sites. And, having the skill set I do, I was like, why don't I just automate this for us? And then I was like, why don't I make this available?
Welcome back to another episode of Beyond Uniform. Today we have Colton Williams with Fly Space A. I've been in chat with him for a while. There's some really cool things that he's been doing that I've been wanting to get him onto the show, and he's finally connected, and he's got an opportunity in the middle of his busy day while he's doing some fun yard stuff. We'll let him explain that here in a second. But other than that, Colton, hey, thanks, man. Taking for the time out of your busy day. I know you got a lot of stuff going on, but we appreciate it. And to get to know you, talk a little bit about what you're doing, and welcome to the show, man.
I appreciate it. Happy to be here and really support the community you reach, our community, our folks. Love it. Happy to be here.
Awesome, man. Thanks so much. Well, let's just go ahead and kick it off, man. Tell us a little bit about your military affiliation, what you're doing, your service time and history, branch, everything like that.
Yeah. So I'm in the National Guard, Massachusetts. I've been in for 17 years. I'm coming up on I've done 4 deployments, and then I'm a 170 Alpha. I'm a cyber chief there. I'm a CW2. And a lot of that has led me to, once you're in cyber, in the Guard, and just in the community at large, it's pretty small, but it affects everything. And so you start to see better ways to automate things. And so every tour I have, every posting, every station is basically people being like, oh, there's a chief available. Pull him in. And that basically summarizes my entire military career is pull the nerd in. And I just keep elevating in promotion and technical ability.
Yeah. I get it. Yeah. Cybersecurity, I mean, that's huge. I mean, obviously, especially, obviously in the military, of course, but that is a huge task and something that I want to get into, but I never did. My biggest goal, I was in the Air Force. I wanted to fly. Just like a lot of people that want to go into the Air Force, they wanted to fly, but of course, unfortunately, my vision wasn't good, so I was down to security forces. But I had fun. It was a good time.
Security forces was good. I used to be an MP back in the day.
Oh yeah, okay.
So I get it.
Yeah. No, it's interesting. All right, so you've got some interesting things going on. You've already built this really cool thing for service members and families and things like that. And it's already launched. So let's talk about that. What do you got going on? What'd you build?
All right. So a few years ago, I was stationed at Fort Meade, and my wife and I heard about Space Available. And we took it twice to Germany. And for both of us to go, and this was out of Baltimore, so it's on one of the Patriot Expresses. I forget the exact prices. It was like $20 each one way, $40 each the other. And it was on a civilian aircraft. I forget if it was like a 747, but it was just like any other flight or civilian flight that you'd be used to, CONUS. And when we got back, it was just such like an eye-opening experience of, if you've heard of Military One Source, also, if the community does not know about Military One Source, go touch that. It's so important. We get inundated with resources that are made available to us, but Space A did not have a solution. And so we found ourselves spending a lot of time on Facebook and browsing Air Mobility Command AMC's listings per terminal. And that was just kind of consuming a lot of time. It felt like, dreaming of vacation on Kayak or some of these other vacation sites. And, having the skill set I do, I was like, why don't I just automate this for us? And then I was like, why don't I make this available? And then we started getting requests for like, oh, what about making a map for it? And what about, having little, baseball cards that show you information about the flight? And it's kind of grown into this, full service that's still entirely free for the community. And we just crossed 8,000 users. Yeah, it's been fun.
Nice. So it's a mobile app or an iPad app basically, and it's downloaded for pretty much service members. And because Space A is one of those things where I think people really like the idea. It's just the uncertainty of you go to the terminal, you get everything ready, and then your flight's canceled, or
That's right.
or you're waiting in line because it's first come first serve, obviously because active duty gets priority. And you guys are kind of helping ease some of those pains through this app. Can you walk us through some of those features? I know you mentioned a couple of things, but like some of the features on the app that address those issues. Like if somebody is not familiar with the app, how do you guys solve some of those problems?
Yeah, I wish I was at a computer right now so I could just like share screen and give like a quick demo.
Well, maybe I could probably add one into the video somewhere.
Yeah, good idea, Ferry, for later. I'm going to let that fly off and capture it later. So first, I want to kind of touch on Space A. If folks don't know what it is, or it's their first time hearing about it, or they knew about it, they just want more details. Essentially, Air Mobility Command is tasked with the transportation of the Department of War, like goods, services, personnel, beans, bullets, food, people, everything that's required for the Department of War. Air Mobility Command moves it, and it's a tremendous task. It's crazy. However, they were mandated by Congress, I forget the day, that, hey, if there's space available, you will do your darned best to make sure that you occupy as many of those seats and as much of that space as possible. And so they cut their kind of classification. It's not this simple, but I'm going to break it down this way into space required and space available. So space required is going to be, the C-130, C-17, the C-5 says I'm 75% full of cargo. I've got 25% available. 20% gets used by people who've like, hey, we're going BWI to Ramstein. These are people they've got real jobs, real stationing, real things to do. So they're going to be space required in that 20%, which leaves just 5%. And then Space A kicks in to say, hey, world, AMC publicly posts how many seats they have available and whether that number is tentative or firm. And if it's firm, it's like, this is a fact. There are 0 seats, 0 firm available. You will not be getting on this flight today. Or it might say 0 tentative, which means there are no seats available, but it's not shored up as a fact. And of course, it goes all the way up to like, sometimes you'll see like 130 plus firm or 130 plus tentative. And so the idea is you find the right terminal, you find their 72-hour posting, you see how many tentative or firm slots are available. You have a quick conversation with your family of risk appetite, of saving thousands of dollars on a flight for the opportunity to go somewhere.
Yeah, that is awesome. And that is a benefit, like you mentioned, I think earlier, that a lot of people don't know. I to be honest, like when I was in, I didn't really know it. I mean, I heard about it, but I never really considered it just because, people didn't really talk about it that much. And this is, a long time ago. I'm sure it's probably talked a lot about more now, but, I see a lot more people talking about it, but I think that's really great that you've been able to fill this gap and provide this information, because it is very confusing. When I went in there to look for myself, it's very confusing. And I don't want to say it was made intentionally designed by that way, but it's just how the military operates. And I get it, because like there's certain things that have to happen at the last minute. Things can change, right? Now, this app that you built, did you build this yourself? Did you hire a team? How did this come about?
So it's entirely me to start. But after I built, so I've been doing this for about a year now. And as far as I know, nobody's been doing it as long, at least in the same way. There's been a couple of developers creating their own solutions, and they've all been super cool. Shout out to Rob from Ebby Travel. Him and I have been talking, solving the same thing. He's been great. As soon as I built the version 1, I realized I had to, my civilian life kicked up. I got a dream job. I had to really focus on that. We're trying to expand our family right now and have kids. And so my brother and a good friend, Joe, I deployed with, another technical fellow, joined in to step up to create that V2. And huge shout out to my brother, Adric, who helped create it to what it is today, who helped me like zoom out and start saying like, what's next for Space A? Like, how do I get this to the government? Like, God, just like make this permanent, make this automated, and just give it to the community. Because the last thing our community needs is like another paywall, like another thing to worry about, like a hard no. And so everything that's there now is going to stay free. But yeah, and to answer you shortly, yes, just me. I'm a coder at heart. I used to be really fluent coding myself, and then Claude happened. I'm still good, but lots of AI.
Yeah, for sure. So AI, it sounds like it's helped you build this thing. Obviously, you are a big coder. I went to actually Arizona State University online for a couple of years to learn software engineering, and it was
nice.
A very confusing language for me, and I ended up dropping that degree. I mean, I had another degree, but I wanted to change careers, and that was just way too confusing for me. So, kudos on you for being able to understand that language. I just couldn't do it. But so this is not directly affiliated with the government at this time, correct? Like it's your
correct, not at all. That's right. This is a personal project for civilian Muggle Colton Williams, just helping out the military and veteran community. And
gotcha.
Actually, go ahead.
No, I was just going to change gears a little bit, but
what I wanted to say on that AI note is before I leave it into like, oh yeah, it's lots of AI. Because tech is my life, I want to put this posture and warning on everything. There is always a human in the loop, and one thing I've seen in other solutions is, and I don't know why Air Mobility Command publicly posts like CENTCOM flights or CENTCOM information, even though they're duty only, and it's not put behind an ID.me, or some of them are. There are some terminals that have done a real good job at saying like, hey, you have to present your CAC or common access card to get in, but there's some that are just publicly available. All the other solutions out there I've seen include that information. And so in our use of AI, there's always a human in the loop for review. And we intentionally exclude OPSEC information, especially like times right now, like we've got service members downrange in the box. Like we're absolutely not displaying that information. And we're going to be rolling a feature out pretty soon that if you make an account with your .gov or .mil, we will present you with that CENTCOM information just automatically free of charge.
Nice. That's awesome. Sounds like you've got a lot going on already with the app, but there's quite a few things that are coming out with the app as well. Some really great features as well to look forward to. When you were starting this, was it I know you mentioned like it was just kind of like something for you and your family to kind of like learn the Space A, and eventually you decided to make it for everybody. How have you grown this thing? Has it been like organically? Has it been with paid? Because you got a lot of people following you and have on this app now, which is hard to do on social media nowadays. But how do you do that?
So it's pretty much all family. Like it's a really close crew. So there's nobody on the team that isn't like immediate close proximity. It's like, best friend, brother, my wife. And then that leads me to this. Marissa leads our social media. She's our branding and voice manager. She's my wife's best friend. They've known each other forever. She's the best. And Marissa, if you ever talk to Fly Space A on social media, she'll be the one that's really working with you, and then she'll ping us with your feedback.
With you.
Yeah, that's right. And she's just the best, and she's staying on it. And she's really taken on herself because she's not prior service. She's not married to military. She's really taken on herself to like learn this process and this. I'm not even sure what you call it. I know technically it's a privilege because in Space A, like you are not the priority. It is always like moving the mission first. However, when you offer your service to the country, it becomes available to you. And she's she's really done a great job at learning it, engaging the community, and keeping it like a healthy engagement. It's been great.
Gotcha. Well, kudos to her. Thanks, Marissa, for what you're doing for for the app. I just want to give you a shout out on the other end here because it's hard. I'm sure she's probably busy with her own life, got things going on, and she's volunteering her time to help you out with this, and that's a big commitment, especially with social media and managing everything. So, thanks on our end from all of us to you that are partaking in this and taking on this role and helping build this out in the community. So, just a couple more questions here. When you're building this, or when you were building this, what were some of the biggest challenges, I guess, whether through building the app or through trying to get the word out, or maybe it's even just trying to get the information from the military to the app? I guess maybe you can explain that. Like, are you out there manually searching for this information and then putting it into the app, or is it like a integration?
So it's an integration, and how we do it, I don't want to give away our secret sauce.
Yeah, no.
But it's been, so for me personally, monetization is going to come soon, where there will be a paywall, asterisk, only if you want to see like the statistics of all Space A that there's been in the past couple of years. It's going to be the past 13 months since we've been collecting it for a while. And then access to like a chatbot if you don't feel like interacting with the front end and you just want to say like, can I fly from here to here? And it'll be able to communicate with you since we're built on Google Cloud. But everything else is going to remain free. And that has been the hardest process of defining what the space available experience is and trying to safely implement that to a place where if I was in my green suit, I would be satisfied with that a civilian was posting. For instance, items like, hey, don't post in conflicts, like if OPSEC's an issue, or always direct to the source. That's important. Like if somebody's going to correct me on my uniform, you better have the god darn source, especially when you're coming up to chief. Like if I'm in uniform, if you're going to correct me, like please be right when you come to me. And so there's a lot of learning lessons about, when FlySpace A presents information, I am not the source of truth. FlySpace A is not the source of truth. And so defining the Space A experience and pointing users to the truth. And so when you use FlySpace A and you go to, like, you make an account, it's free. You go to the flights tab. And on the top half, there'll be a map that's interactive and you can like click around. And on the bottom half, it just lists them out, as you're searching for, flights from, to, date, eligibility. And when you see those, it will guide you to the link from the government. So you can see like, here is the source of truth. The government is the source of truth. I think that has been the hardest experience is how do we explicitly keep showing people that we are not the source of truth? Sure. We are middlemen, and all we are doing is providing a solution so you can stop hunting Facebook and stop hunting, staying on these air mobility sites. And sometimes, each one of those has an airman, soldier, Marine, sailor, guardian, or coastie that is maintaining it. And sometimes they're out of date. And sometimes they don't update, or sometimes the link changes, sometimes the link broken. That's been it.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people have to remember it's a military that's controlling the information that you're seeking and providing to everybody else. Literally, if you've been in the military, obviously things can change literally in the last 60 seconds before you need to go fly or go to combat or do something. So, I think the military members do understand that, I hope, right? And they have appreciation for the flexibility. I think the Marines called it Semper Gumby, right? Yep. Always flexible.
Always right? Flexible. That's right.
Yeah. So, right. So, I think people need to understand that, and not get so upset, if you will, if they run into issues on the app, because, when you search online, a lot of the times information is outdated or whatever. But I think with an understanding of the military is like you expect things to be different or change at the last minute. And so, be resourceful is what a lot of people say. You provide the information, you fill in a gap, but just be resourceful when things don't go according to plan, I guess, so to speak. So, last question, man. You've been space A flying for quite some time. This might be a rabbit hole to go down, but I just want to ask you, like, what is one thing? Okay, you filled in the gap with the app and the software and the information. Aside from that, what would be one thing for anybody looking to do space A flight, maybe for the first time or have done it a few times? What's one thing or one tip that you can give them to make the, I guess, process a little smoother?
Yeah. So selfishly first, just go and fly space A. There's a couple of other resources out there. I can't speak to the how good they are, but I know we're hot shit. Excuse my language, but we're good to go. Link to the source. Don't believe us. Look at the PDF. Next is the community around space A, and huge shout out to like Pop and Smoke and all these other people in the community. But if you ever do try space A, I suggest the first time you do it, do a Patriot Express. It's a little more reliable. 2, if you see any number that is greater than 0 and tentative, chances are you're going to have a shot on that flight, because there's going to be some Joe who's going to his first duty station that doesn't know where he's supposed to go and just doesn't show up, and there's going to be a space available, many seats available. And of course, all that might not be true. To your point, things change last second. And third is, when you try a Patriot Express location, just to relieve the fear, everybody there is military, and that community is so welcoming. Like, people have their pets, people have their kids. It'll be like the only terminal that has a whole, cabal of children that are, there's just like, this fence of chaperones and adults around, but all the kids are playing in a corner. They've somehow assembled their own 60-second gymnasium out of nowhere, and just like luggage. And it is just such a good experience to go engage the unknown and the ambiguous and the chaos of it with your community who's doing the same thing.
Yeah, no, that's really awesome, man. I appreciate you sharing that information. Because a lot of people, I don't think, knew some of that stuff, especially the Patriot Express. Like, I didn't know that. So, but it's good because, like you said, the military community is a very unique community in a sense that I think it's just because we are all on the same team, and so we have an understanding, and so for the most part, we get along. For the most part, right?
Yeah, we know how to engage in conflict with each other to just get over ourselves and to just like push through a moment. It's too easy.
Yeah, perfect, awesome. The last statement is, where do people go? Obviously, you said it's on the Apple and the Google Play store. That's pretty much where to go to download the app, correct?
That's right. You can go to the web browser as well. That's my favorite way to do it, is fly space A. And that's just the word fly, the word space, the letter A, alpha.com.
Okay.
Make an account and explore, check it out. We're about to have a new release that is like our second revision, taking in a lot of lessons learned, a lot of community feedback here in the next couple of weeks.
Awesome. All right. Well, hey, Colton, I appreciate you taking the time out of the day. I know you're busy chopping wood, I believe is what you're doing.
Right. Yeah, that's right. Getting right back to it.
Okay. All right, man. Well, I appreciate your time. Thanks so much. And everyone, go check out the app, download it, and book your next trip. Hopefully stress-free as much as possible.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Just enjoy it. All right, Sarah. Thanks so much. Talk soon.
All right. Bye.
Cheers.